Hey everyone, Al Fragnoli, Brandon Gunn, Zach Sooty, unable to join us today. We look forward to having him back next week on League Leaders. Brandon, thanks for coming on again. And we got a couple questions we're going to touch on for Hot Topic Tuesday here. First one, we want to talk about college football in full swing this past weekend. What a great weekend it was to see stadiums packed and a lot of people enjoying college football. Special time of year for sure. Clemson, Georgia, probably the biggest matchup of the weekend that I think most people would be looking forward to. Georgia comes out on top in an absolute dogfight, a defensive battle. They win a tight game there. Brandon, does Clemson have enough if they run the table to get into the playoff still with this early season loss here?
Yeah, it was a great weekend of college football again. But yeah, I think that they do. And the only reason why is because they play in the ACC. So I think that they're going to have some teams that are going to go through and have good showings against other teams. And then I think they're going to run the table and just be able to do it. I think that we've seen over the past few years that early losses don't really impact teams too badly. Yeah, they knock you down initially, but if they were on the table, they'll be good to go. And so I do think that they'll just on the namesake that they have in the past few years that they put together, I think they'll be right back in the playoff. What do you think, Al?
Yeah, so it's an interesting point. You mentioned them being in the ACC and thinking that that was going to help them. I actually do think that they can make it back to the postseason, but I think them being in the ACC could actually backfire and hurt them. I know the ACC had some tough matchups in week one with Miami of Florida going up against Alabama, but they got manhandled in that game. So if they don't bounce back and they aren't the team that everybody thought they were going to be, that's going to be a problem. You saw North Carolina, which was a top 10 team preseason here to start, and they lost to an unranked Virginia Tech team. So if some of these teams don't bounce back and have really good records, some of these games, unless Clemson's winning them by 40 points, really might affect them. So I'm going to say right now, just because they started the season in the top four, I think that they are going to be fine. Right now, I don't think they need any help, truthfully, with their brand and what they've done the last several years. If they have one loss and go into the end of the season at 11-1, I do think that they'll be in the postseason. But it might be a little bit concerning if North Carolina and Miami of Florida and some of these other stronger name teams in the ACC of recent years do struggle for the rest of the year. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But I do agree with you, though, that Clemson, if they run the table the rest of the way, will be in the postseason. We'll stick with college football with this next question here locally in Michigan. Ronnie Bell, senior wide receiver for the University of Michigan, has an apparent knee injury. It sounds like a torn ACL, out for the year. There was some talk that he might skip his senior year and go to the NFL. He is obviously their best wide receiver, one of their better athletes on the team, one of the best wide receivers in the Big Ten, if not all of college football. Brandon, your thoughts on what this means to Ronnie Bell in regards to his draft stock going into the draft this upcoming year and what it means to the Michigan football team?
Yeah, so Al, first of all, I'd like to say, best wishes to Ronnie Bell in his recovery. And man, what a big blow to the University of Michigan. And in his senior year, what a tough spot. He was the alpha of what was already a thin core. I think that you look at the University of Michigan's wide receiver group, and that was probably one of the thinnest groups that they trotted out this weekend. And so to lose him, especially after scoring a 76-yard touchdown and like everything that he's shown, the one-handed grab on the sidelines that it inevitably got pulled back and, called for or offensive pass interference or whatever. But, you just got to see a little bit of potential right before he went off the field. So once again, best of luck to Ronnie Bell and his recovery first and foremost. But of course, University of Michigan is going to face a huge blow losing him. And I really hope that we, as University of Michigan fans, get to see some guys step in and just, you're thrown into the fire now. Let's perform. So hopefully some of these high ranking guys, high recruits can come in and really get things done. What are your thoughts, Al?
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, Brandon, on this one. Obviously, a devastating blow for Ronnie Bell. You got to wish him the best in a speedy and healthy recovery here. It would be awesome if he could use this year as a medical red shirt and come back next year, maybe finish out his schooling, start grad school next year, come back, give it one more year with the Maize and Blue. I doubt he's going to do that, but it would be something special for Michigan fans to witness that. But you do hate to see him go out in the first game of the year with a devastating injury like that. It is going to affect the football program, obviously, for sure. What worries me a little bit, Brandon, you mentioned that they're not very deep at the wide receiver core right now. So you got a lot of young players there at receiver. Quarterback position is very young as well, not a lot of experience there too. So, having a star receiver like Ronnie Bell, a lot of times he can be able to bail out that quarterback if he makes a throw behind him a little bit or a little bit too far out front. He can really step in and make some acrobatic catches. It's going to be hard for that to happen with some of the younger players. But to your point too, Brandon, this is an opportunity for other guys to step up, make a name for themselves, and earn a starting spot, on that football field. So we'll see what happens in the coming weeks. But you got to wish Ronnie Bell the best of luck in his recovery process here. And hopefully the Maize and Blue can fill that void somehow, some way moving forward throughout the rest of the year. Brandon, we'll move into our last topic for the evening. We're going to stick with football. We're going to jump to the NFL, but we're sticking all football this week. Let's talk a little bit about the NFL with the upcoming season starting in a couple days here. Let's just forecast forward to January and into February. What are your preseason predictions here in regards to the AFC Championship, NFC Championship, and then ultimately the Super Bowl teams that'll match up in your winner? So who do you have in the final four teams and then ultimately in the final two teams here for this NFL season, Brandon?
So the NFL is going to be an exciting year this year. I think that we've got a lot of premier players, young players, taking a step forward into the spotlight. And I think that's going to be representative of my picks anyways. I think that, in the AFC, we've got Josh Allen, we've got Patrick Mahomes. I think those two are going to be formidable foes against each other that are going to face each other moving forward for many years. I really do. And I think that this year, I've still got Mahomes just edging out Josh Allen this year. And, you making it to the Super Bowl again. I think that they've done enough to surround Mahomes, both defensively and then on the offensive side of the ball to keep him in his space where he's going to be a perennial contender. And then on the NFC side of things, I think that who can discount Tom Brady? I know that, you and I are both big Tom Brady fans, but I think that, you take a look at Tom Brady, you take a look at some of the other teams around the NFC. I think that's, but I think one team, I initially thought the San Francisco 49ers would be there, but I think that it might be a little too much for rookie Trey Lance to do it. So I think the LA Rams may be my team to jump in and go head to head with Tom Brady. And I'll actually pick them to overcome Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Matthew Stafford in his first year as an LA Rams quarterback is going to find himself in a Super Bowl matchup against Patrick Mahomes. Will he win it? He won't. He's not going to do it this year. It's going to be Patrick Mahomes this year. And Patrick Mahomes is going to win his second Super Bowl in 4 years that he's been in the league. And he's going to continue to build on the career that is already, it's almost Hall of Fame worthy already. So I think that's my prediction for this upcoming season. What do you have, Al?
All right, Brandon. Well, I think some of that is a bunch of not good predictions. Let's just say that. So I will start in the AFC. I do have Kansas City and Buffalo meeting again, just like last year's AFC Championship. I know it's hard to do that back-to-back years for the same teams to be there, but I do think that they are the two best teams in the AFC right now. So if they remain healthy, I think they match up. I'm going to go with Buffalo making it to the Super Bowl. I think it's really, really difficult and challenging to go to the Super Bowl 3 straight years. I don't think Kansas City is going to do it. Great organization, great team, but I'm going to say Buffalo finally gets over the hump, gets to the Super Bowl. First time since the 90s. In the NFC, I'm going to say that Dak Prescott is comeback player of the year, and the Dallas Cowboys end up in the NFC Championship game. To your point, I will agree with you that they're going to match up against the Tom Brady-led Tampa Bay Buccaneers. How can we go against him? The team has remained the same core players. Nobody's really left. This team's going to be even better, in my opinion, this year. It's going to be exciting to watch them perform out there and see what Tom Brady can bring to the table at 44 years of age. Will he get his 8th Super Bowl? I don't know. We'll see. I am going to say that Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers advance to the Super Bowl. They play Buffalo, and I am very, very sorry, Buffalo Bills fans. You still will not get over that hump and win a Super Bowl. Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl again, and then the big question will be, will he finally retire, or is he still coming back? So only time will tell. But one thing that I do know is that the Los Angeles Rams and Matthew Stafford will not be in this year's Super Bowl. That is my big, bold prediction. So anyway, that wraps it up for Hot Topic Tuesday. We appreciate you joining us. We hope you tune in next Tuesday for another edition of Hot Topic Tuesday. We hope you watch our interview series this Sunday as well. And we look forward to having Zach Suddy back on with us very, very soon. Thanks again, everybody. Bye.